Hello, welcome back once again to my channel, and in today's video we're going to be glamming this beauty. If you're new here, please don't make it your last by clicking the subscribe button. You don't want to leave my channel without subscribing. Please subscribe and be part of my family. And without wasting much of your time, let's jump right into this video. So to begin, I'm using the Nia Beauty micellar water to take out dirt from her face. This is a very compulsory step for you. You need a clean canvas to work on. You don't want to start applying makeup on a face you're not sure that has maybe dirt and all. So after that, I'm going to be moisturizing her lip with the Nia Beauty lip balm. This lip balm is so amazing. The smell, the texture, it's just so amazing. Having this lip balm is going to make you and also help you like moisturize your lip more because it smells amazing. So I'm going to be setting her skin, like hydrating her skin with my Kiss Beauty hydrating spray. This is my go-to spray for hydration. It works for me, like it works perfectly well for me, and I enjoy what it does to the skin. So I use it all the time. So next I'll be using the Miracle Bedew serum to for more hydration and also to give me like a very smooth skin. We want to achieve a flawless skin, so using a serum is a must, guys. Like you have to include serum to your skin prep routine if you haven't already. So just blend that out with a brush or your hand. So I'm using the Pond's Oil Control Primer to control the oil around her brow area because we want the brows matte. You don't want like an oil brows, like a brows looking oily. So I just use my hand to like blend that in. So for moisturizer, I'm using my Embryolisse moisturizer. This also doubles as a primer, so you can use this and not use a primer at all, so it works. But I usually like to use a primer on top of it because of the country where I am, the weather isn't funny. So after blending that out and making sure it's well blended, this is my Mismetic Power Seal. It's an oil control stroke salt control tonic. This works perfectly well to control oil on the skin, and my clients really have like a normal skin, but I love to play safe because she was going for a photo shoot, so I tried to control the oil on her T-zone. Now these are the two primer I'm going to be using. The Stay Matte all over her skin, and while I'm doing that, I'm trying to avoid the power seal on her T-zone because it needs to be completely dry. If you touch or apply another product on it when it's not completely dry, guys, it's going to lift. So I am basically just applying this Stay Matte, Rimmel London Stay Matte all over her skin. This Rimmel London says Stay Matte, but I don't consider it like a mattifying primer. I say this like all the time. It just helps control the oil and also moisturize. So this is me checking if the power seal is completely dry. So I'm just using like my lash pack to make sure it's dry and I be on the safe side. So now on her T-zone, I went into the T-zone with the Becca primer. This is a mattifying primer. Some people use mattifying primer all over the skin, but I don't recommend, guys. I highly don't recommend. Your mattifying primer should be just on the T-zone where she tends to produce oil. So next, I'm going to be using my foundations, and this is the foundation I'm using, the Melanin in number 11, Beauty by AD in number 8, and my Super Stay in 320. So this is a mixture that gave me what she has on her face. So I'm using my Nia Beauty setting spray to spray on the skin. This is going to help me melt the foundation and give me like a very easy blend. And I'm using my Damn Beauty sponge from Vicabel Cosmetics. No, there is no cosmetic attached to Vicabel, guys. It's just Vicabel, but it's a brand that sells tools for your makeup. They have amazing brushes and beauty blenders, and I think like a brush egg for washing your brushes. Just they sell tools for your makeup basically, and this beauty blender is really soft. I highly recommend. So this is me just blending the foundation into the skin, and I had like a really good time with my clients. So we had like a lot to talk about. We just did a lot. We vibed to her playlist, so you can see from this video that it was like a very great session. So guys, this is the point where you subscribe to my channel. Please don't leave my channel without subscribing, and make sure you blend your foundation without leaving any demarcation, guys. The next, for the blush, I'm using my classic lip stain as the blush. I apply this above her cheek, just above the contour as well. That's the part where I am going to contour and make sure it's well blended. So to contour, I'm using my Ingloss foundation in 304. This is more of a bronzing shade, not like a contour. I'm just trying to like bring warmth to her face, not like a serious shadow, like it. You get what I'm trying to say? I'm just trying to like bring warm her face a little bit. I prefer to like bronze when I'm working on a light skin. It just gives me this yummy sun-kissed finish. It's really beautiful. And if working on a light skin, I highly recommend the Inglot 304. It's like an amazing shade, a very good shade for contour. I don't use this foundation all over the skin for anybody at all. Maybe I've not had like a client that this foundation suits, but this is basically what I use this foundation for, and I love it so much. So to highlight, I'm using the Nuban Beauty concealer in 042.5. I don't know why somehow I didn't show this concealer in this video. Maybe I lost the clip or something, but I don't know, but that's the shade I use. Like, I'm very sure of that. So I just apply that with a brush. Trust me, your concealer is best applied with a brush. Apply that with a brush and try to blend that out properly. I'm not applying pressure when working under the eyes, guys. You want to be as light-handed as possible. Don't apply pressure so you don't kick the under eyes or crease the under eyes or even make it start reacting to the product, because the under eyes is a very sensitive part of the face. So you want to be really light-handed. So I went ahead to highlight her chin, under her nose, and also her forehead and the bridge of her nose with the same concealer, but this time I'm just using my brush, patting a little bit and blend that in. So trying to give the face a lift because of the look I'm going to create. I'm using my concealer. No, this is not my concealer. The same foundation I use, the same England foundation I used to bronze her face. To do that, I make sure it's well blended. So for more highlight, I went into with my Younger Beauty concealer in SMC1. That's like the lightest shade. I really wanted to have like a very bright under eyes, and why I waited for a while before like brightening under the eyes, because I really wanted it to get the first concealer I apply to get tacky a little before going with another product. This is going, if you do this is going to give like a very full coverage without even packing product. So this is my Ingloss setting powder. I can't remember the shade, but this powder is my Ingloss setting powder. I just poured it in the loose powder container. I blended under the eyes and went ahead with a very little quantity. I use my beauty sponge to pick it. Very little quantity to set under the eyes. At this part, guys, this part is really tricky. You don't want to pack products, guys, trust me, because if you pack products, the under eyes is going to look really kicky and tacky and start to crease. You don't even want that. So after that, I went into it with another layer. This time I'm using my Laura Mercier setting powder. Sometimes I set the under eyes layer by layer. Like when I'm setting the first time, I make sure I just go in with one layer and go in again with another layer. This way is going to help me blend my product into the skin properly, and it won't look much or look so much, like it won't look just so much. It will just be there well blended. So just go into it layer by layer. You do the first layer and go into another layer. Don't go into it directly. So to set the bronzer or the contour rather, I'm using my melanin powder in warm to do that. I just use this small blending fluffy brush to do that, and also setting the outer corner of the eyes where I contoured, like how the part where I lifted, the part where I give the face a lift. So that's what it is. Because me saying I lifted the face, it's giving like, it's sounding like I kind of use my hand to lift the face or something. It's not sounding makeup like. So I'm using the same powder to contour the nose. I usually don't like doing cream contour on the nose actually. I just feel like only my powder can do that for me, and it's going to be really lightweight. So to set all over her face, I'm using my Nuban Beauty setting powder, or my Nuban Beauty mineralized powder rather, in number 3. This is like an exact shade, and I love this Nuban Beauty mineralized powder so much because it just works for me and gives me exactly what I want. Like, I love the coverage on the skin. I love how it feels on the skin. I love what it does to the skin. So to intensify the blush, I'm using the blush from the classic blush palette, guys. So I really love this pink I use. It just, kind of works for me and does the job perfectly well for me. So for her brows, I'm using my Hega and Esther brow gel. Guys, I just recently started using brow gel again after 5 or 6 years. The last time I used brow gel was like 5 or 6 years ago. So I just started using it, and when I tried it for the first time, guys, I didn't like it, but I think I'm loving it right now. But my pencil has been doing the job for me for the longest time. So to do that, I just outline a little bit. Like, I'm not applying pressure. I don't have like so much product on that brush because you don't want to make it look dark. So after outlining, I just use the excesses I have from the brush to fill that in, and I brush. I got my pencil because I'm still very in a good relationship with my pencil. Trust me, guys. So I use my pencil to do the beginning part of the brows, and I brushed it, and voila, this is what my brows look like. So I'm just going to go ahead and conceal the brow. So this is what my brows look like without the concealer. So let's conceal those brows now, guys. I thought I should remind you again that if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, please click the subscribe button. Check out my other videos. I have lots of amazing videos. You will enjoy them. But what I'm doing right now is just trying to, make the brows look nice. I kind of stepped away a little bit and try to see where I need to correct. So that's what I'm just trying to do. Like, basically correcting the brows, nothing much. I'm not applying pressure, guys. So to conceal, I just took like very tiny quantity of concealer on my flat brush. I placed that on the back of my palm. I didn't just go directly into it with my concealer, but I don't want to pack so much product there. Concealers can make or destroy your brows, guys, so you don't want to pack so much product. So I just use like very little quantity on the beginning part of the brows, and I try to blend that into I use it on the brow bone, and I try to blend that into the beginning part of the brows. But the beginning part of the brows, I use the same shade I used to contour her skin to do that, because I want it looking really natural. You don't want the beginning part of the brows looking white. It's going to look like 3 layers of brows, and that's not nice at all. So it's just better to have like the contour shade there. So for the top of the brows, I went to the other side, where like the opposite of the side where I was standing, held down her skin, like held on her head a little bit because I don't want her skin moving, and I use her exact foundation shade, the one I used on her skin, to define the top of her brows. I mix it a little bit with the contour shape. I want it a little bit darker. If I had gone into it with just the foundation, it's going to look like a little bit lighter. So I just want it looking like the exact shade. So I blended out. For the eyes, I'm using my Tara eyeshadow base for the eyes. Guys, you want to blend your eyeshadow base properly because you don't want your eyeshadow looking tacky. So after that, I went into the outer corner of the eyes with a brown from my England eyeshadow palette, and I'm just basically building up. I'm not packing product and taking it directly on the eyes. I'm just building up, placing, and if it's not enough, I can just always go back and add. But if it's too much, I cannot reduce. So this is me just blending the crease, and to place the eyeshadow, I have to blend the base again. So this is me just placing the eyeshadow. This is like a burnt orange, and I mix it with a little bit of nude just to tint it down a little bit. I don't want the eyes looking orange, and I also don't want it looking completely nude. So this is just what I did. I just tinted the burnt orange down a little bit with a nude. So this is me just using like a highlighter to highlight her tear dots, just to define her tear dots and make it pop. After that, I'm going to be smudging under her eyes with a small brush. This is just to give me that smoky kind of look, because that's the look I was trying to achieve, and I actually did achieve it. I used like a blending brush to blend that out and connect it to the eyeshadow I did on top. Just connect it and just make sure there is no demarcation. So to line her eyes, I'm using my Tehila Cosmetic gel liner. I really love this gel liner because it's black, it's smudge proof, it's waterproof, it doesn't smear, and it's matte. So to do that, I'm using Tehila brush. I just outline, like I just kind of winged it a little bit. When I'm really going to wing this gel liner, like really winged, but to do this, to achieve that perfect wing liner, you don't want to go into it with so much product. You want to build up. So I'm just going to hold her eyes up and try to line the beginning part of her eyes, because I don't want the looking so much. I want the eyeliner looking really thin. I just want it looking perfect and thin. So when I'm done with this, I'm going back to the outer corner of the eyes to build up my gel liner. Like I said, you don't want to just pack your product straight up, so just draw like a tiny line and keep building up until you are satisfied. This eyeliner took a while because I wanted it perfect to look like it was done automatically and not manually, guys. So this is me just, building up. Like, I'm also extending it. I didn't go straight into it to just extend it. I just did like a very tiny line, and guys, this is my liner. That's what I achieved, and I was so proud. Next is the mascara, and this is my Zaron cosmetic mascara. I use the mascara on her natural lashes before applying the false lash. This is really going to help you put your lashes in place and also take out excess fallout from the eyeshadow, making the natural lashes look really clean and ready for the false lash. And this is a false lash I'm using. I just use my tweezers to place it, and voila, this is perfect. So I use my Nia Beauty setting spray to spray her face, covering her eyes because I don't want it to crease. And for the lip, I did like a whole different video for the lip, guys. I really wanted this lip to be detailed for you guys, and I'm going to leave the link in the description box so you catch up. Trust me, you don't want to miss that video. I let the setting spray like set into her skin and dry like almost completely before I went into it with my beauty sponge to seal that into the skin. This is going to help seal everything into the skin and make sure no demarcation on the skin. So to finish up her face, I'm using the cream blush, the Eyeliner Cosmetic cream blush in Demi. This is like an orange shade. I just place it on the blush, like on the skin, on the blush area, because I just want it looking really fresh, not dried out. And this is the 2-shade Milk and Fantasy highlighter I'm using on her skin, guys. I just use like this fluffy blending brush. This brush applies highlighter for me very well. It's big, but it just does the job for me. So I use my finger to apply on the bridge of her nose, and also for more highlights, I'm using my Mismetic glazed in flushed. I'm using my hand to apply this. This is highly pigmented, so I'm using my hand to apply this, guys. This is best applied with your hand. Try it and thank me later. So to line inside her eyes, I'm using my Eyeliner Cosmetic gel liner. I put it on the back of my palm, let it get tacky for a while before I apply that in to her eyes, guys. You don't want to go directly into the eyes with a gel liner you just bring out from the container, or let it's already tacky. Under the eyes is really tricky, like inside her waterline is really tricky. Around those parts generally is tricky, so you want to play safe. So I'm using my Morph setting mist to set all over her skin because I want this makeup looking really yummy. So I went ahead with my lash pack to fan it so it dries out completely. It just works for me compared to the mini fan. So when it's completely dry, like almost, I use my beauty sponge to seal that in like I'm doing right now. So for the lip, I gloss the lip, and I'm using my classic lip gloss to do that. So this is what it looks like glossed. I was going to leave the lip matte, but as a gloss girl, I said, oh no, I have to go back to my love, which is the gloss, guys. And this lip looks really yummy. Like, it looks edible, guys. This lip, make sure you catch up with this video. So to finish up her face, I'm using my Sopro Stylit spray to keep this makeup in place and make sure it doesn't move. And guys, this is the finished look. All this I created with my hands. Oh my god, I'm so proud. This look bangs so much. Videos aren't even doing justice to this look. And guys, I just have come to the end of this video. Let me know if you enjoy it. Click the subscribe button if you're here to subscribe to my channel. And this is the look with the hair. Let me know which you prefer, guys. Turn the post notification to my post so you'll be the first to be notified when I post new amazing videos like this. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.